Buaya ina mua. Mua o, mua o, mua o. Mua o, mua o, mua o.
Talo fatu le pa ia man malu lo tato tini ko faiona fa fonfo mai le nei po kalame o e aso lo matu fatasi ma siamo ko Samoa e sunga le ia Pene o leo lo nafa ma le tiute o tulanga tau musika i le fa opera po le opera lo matu fatasi nei lai San Francisco tai le tuo mone a Manoa e fai sana feiloa i fifia ma fai sina taunonga fo i tu sama lona tau fai ma le anu i luma lona tau fai i lana ta fai yoi we greetings and thank you for we thank Pene for the opportunity to grant us to interview him and talk to him about his profession. He's an opera singer and we're here in San Francisco at the Opera House have the opportunity to speak with you. Talo fa Pene?
Talo fa lava. Malo lava si fua.
Malo fa fua lo sunga. I understand that you've been in San Francisco now for 2 years.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yes.
And I understand that can you tell me something about what you've done and what you're doing? Well, let me first ask, how do you like San Francisco?
I love it. I mean, the change in weather is the only problem. Not really, it's just windy, but you know, the culture here in San Francisco has been likened to New Zealand, so it works really well for me, and I love the area.
Right. Something about you are here with, you're married, right?
Yep.
And your brother.
Yep.
And your cousin.
Yep.
Who is the threesome
with
the trio of your group. And your wife is from
Egypt. But she's New Zealander, so she's
New Zealand, Egypt. Okay. So you enjoy your stay here in San Francisco?
Yes. So I'm here in the company with my brother and my wife, and you know, there's something about having family together doing the same thing.
Yes.
It kind of makes the trip a whole lot easier because
Yes.
you've got someone to lean to and someone to talk to.
Right.
Especially with my brother. I mean, you know, to have your uso here to
Right.
to Karakamua and talk about random stuff about how life is different here than it was in New Zealand is a great thing to have.
Well, you're still a kid. You're 29 years old. I mean, you need to live your life and enjoy it, you know. But I just want to mention there's a whole lot of Samoans.
Yeah, that's the thing I haven't seen here. And everyone that I've met, all the Samoans I've met, have all said, "Oh, there's a lot of Samoans here."
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, where are they all hiding?" Or at least I'm the one that's hiding.
So we'll fix that problem.
Okay.
All right. So that will no longer be a problem, and also get you some food. Anyway, you're in San Francisco. This is your second year, and why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing now? And
Yeah. So to get into this program called the Adler Fellowship, you have to first do a young artist or like a summer school called the Marilini, and from there there's already a huge competition. You've got to beat out like 2,000 people to get into the 27 people for the summer school, and from that summer school they choose like 3 or 4 to become Adlers, and the Adlers are considered young artists of the Opera House. They're that step that's just before hitting the stage. It's like, and so the fact that my brother and my wife all became Adlers at the same time is
that's an amazing
that's amazing feat in itself. And then what's happened this year is that I got this incredible opportunity from the Opera House. They said, "Here's the Duke for the opera that's happening."
Which is the lead role, by the way.
Which is one of the lead roles.
One of the lead roles, yes.
And he sings from beginning to end. He really does, and that's a big thing for the Opera House, to trust a young singer to be like, okay, we're giving you the role. Like, don't disappoint us.
Right.
Mi sento io dare, e me consola.
So tell us a little bit, so maybe let our people know without disclosing too much information of what you're doing and what you hope to do to achieve and what you're doing now.
This opera in particular, the tenor part is, for me, is absolutely difficult. I've never come across a role that's so hard to sing, and the preparation that goes with it is what keeps me disciplined, because I have to be above the game all the time. And then in this industry, of course, it's one of those, if you're not willing to do what you're doing, someone else is going to take your job. So you always have to be on your game every time. My character is kind of, in this opera, I'm kind of a cynical man, I'm kind of a bad man, but also quite naive about what he's doing, and he's going around taking advantage of people, taking advantage of women, and he accidentally takes, or not accidentally, he takes advantage of one particular girl, who's the daughter. Yeah, he's the daughter of the main guy, Rigoletto, and everything spirals out of control there. Like Rigoletto just seeks revenge, but just can never get it.
Rigoletto is the head of the family or something like that?
He's my jester, so he's my almost sidekick, and he's got a daughter that I end up taking advantage of, and of course he seeks revenge and tries to get me killed, but it doesn't work out. And I'll leave the ending for everyone.
All right. Well, Samoans do very well with people trying to manipulate them. History speaks for that. So, anyway, how do you feel? Do you feel this is a challenge for you, because you're very relatively young, and yet you're given a role that some people have been in the business so long, you even have a problem getting into it, don't even get selected for it.
Yeah.
What do you?
It's definitely been a challenge from day one. It was like right from even when I first started opera. I mean, the reason why I did opera from the start was because someone said, "Oh, you can sing, do classical singing," and I was doing hip hop at the time. I was doing hip hop and R&B. And then one of the tutors said, this field is not for us, Pacific Islanders.
Who said that?
His name was Robert Woodamoo back in New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah. And I respect him a lot. Like, if it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't be doing this, to be honest. He said, the Samoans, especially, or the Pacific Islanders, won't really cut it in the opera field, because that's not our genre. And in a sense, he's kind of right. But at that time, I was like, nah, I'm going to prove this guy wrong. I was like, I didn't understand why, when we have singing flowing through our veins. And so I set out, and I knew the challenge was going to be hard. I had to compete against people who speak French and Italian and all those languages. And I thought, if I can just knuckle down for the amount of years it takes and become the best, it would be, if that's what it takes to prove him wrong with it, that's what it's going to take.
So it's not just talent.
No.
You have to be motivated, you have to have a drive.
Absolutely.
To want it.
Yeah.
Because you don't just arrive by accident.
No.
So it was all planned by you to, having declared this is what you want, you make that decision. Yeah. And you're going to knock down whatever walls there was going to be in your way, motivated by one of your mentors there.
Yeah, and you're almost like you are your business, and if you're not willing to invest in your own business, then someone else is going to take your spot. And it's prevalent with us. I was born in Samoa, and my whole life has been speaking Samoan at home, and just to see the drive from my dad, who left Samoa to be in New Zealand, and then that same concept where I've left New Zealand to go to the world. It's kind of like if he had the drive to do that, to make himself better. I was like, then what stops me from making myself better by leaving? And it was the hardest decision, because I thought, because we're family people, Samoans are family people. And
that was your motivation.
It was my motivation. I was like,
your dad.
Yeah, because I'm named after my dad, Pene Jr. And for some reason, he's from this very poor place, like Sakbaikia and Savaii, and I thought, if I go out and put myself out there, people will know his name by my means. By people will be like, hey, that's Pene Pati singing. And then inadvertently, they'll know who my dad is because I'm named after my dad. And I was like, if I can put him up on a pedestal and just say thank you for what you're doing, then I've done something right.
The step that your dad took was a big step. It was a humongous step to make that decision to go to New Zealand, which is giving his son the drive to move from there to wherever he wants to be.
Yeah.
And that's, you be congratulated for that. I mean, that's a great story for all our young people, all our young Samoans. Put your mind to something and go get it if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Right. This is, talk about how long, much more of this and what your next plan is, or what your next job would be.
So you're young artist to the Opera House for 2 years, which finishes in December for me. And then after that, you get hired as a freelance opera singer at different places, and I'll be singing in France next year, New Zealand next year, and then you carry on, you end up singing everywhere. You'll be singing in Italy and England and Russia, where the wind blows, I guess.
Right. Maybe you can explain, because I'm a novice in opera and I don't know anything about opera, I admit. But you've taken this step and you escalated to this level right now, so you're not considered one of the elites in the industry. in the sense of the classification of opera singers, which opera people know, because they don't just throw you in here without having that pedigree, like I was talking about. So you have that. How much further can you go?
I mean, I always see there's always room for improvement somehow, and it's the same for athletes and anyone else in the field. You are your worst judge because you keep saying, I can do better, I can do better. But in a sense, that's a good thing. I mean, a lot of the sponsors and people here have said, oh, you've made the A-League. You've been singing with the great people on the stage, Quinn Kelsey and Nino. And for me, it just feels bizarre for me because I'm not used to that feeling. The Alcamo are always very humble.
On stage,
they're always very humble. They're like, oh no, it's I'm nothing really. Yes. And they keep saying, oh, you've made the A-League, and I keep saying, oh no, they're the A-League. I'm still learning. So it's still, for me, after 2 years, it's still a foreign concept to think that I've made the A-League.
I know what you're talking about, the humility that we're talking. And that's a character that we see in a lot of your music. I've seen some, because I was trying to, I've seen some, I share some in our Promote Samoan's Talents. We have that page. And we've seen some of how easy it is for you to transition from one genre to another.
Yeah.
And how relaxed you are, and you all seem to be having fun. What contributes to that?
I think the Pacific, our poly nature, is what contributes to like sort of me being on stage and working well. It's the family nature as well, and it's something humanizing about it that when people watch, they forget that they're watching this opera and play, you know, and that's the message we're trying to convey, is that with three unknown, unlikely guys who would be doing opera are suddenly in love with opera and just love singing the music, and people become relaxed and watch going, you know, that's exactly what I do with my brother, and that's what I do when I'm at home, and they have this humanizing effect again, that they want to be like, okay, I want to go see the opera now, because, you know, they've given me a
I think I have a concept for that. It's the Samoanization of opera.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's you brought part of your nature and your culture into your profession.
Yeah.
Which nobody else could do.
Yeah.
So
and it's something, I believe it's something it's much needed at this time.
yes.
At this time where it's difficult, that we're trying to search for a new audience for opera. We're trying to get out there and be like, you know, come and see. And the last show, there were 6 Samoans who came, and I didn't know any of them. And then 1 came from Fresno, 2 came from Fresno, 3 came from quite far away towards Sacramento. And they were like, we just came because one, there was, you know, Samoans were in this, and Quinkasi is Hawaiian. And then I said, so how did you feel? They were like, you know, we've never ever been to an opera before. This first time, we didn't know there was English you could understand, and they were hooked from day one. From that time, they were like, you know, I'm gonna come back and see it again because it was just something mesmerizing. And I was like, see, that's the thing, is that we're taught that opera is like a standoff feel. Elite.
Exactly. From us.
Yeah.
Yes.
But once they understood the concept, they were like, oh, now I can spread it around.
It's like any concept in life.
Yeah.
If you don't understand it, you're not going to appreciate it.
Yeah.
Understanding is the key.
And we all seem to, it's human nature to fear the unknown. They're kind of like, really, am I going to, you know, invest time to go see an opera that I'm not going to like?
So now you have a new audience, and you're introducing you to the Pacific and Polynesian people, that they have one of theirs, and if you can appreciate and enjoy and love what you're doing, it's also time for them, because we all support Samoans. Whether you're an athlete, whether you're a comedian, whether you're a music, we all love our stuff, and you bring that tone, that maybe hybrid genre, you know, to include our music, our sense of humor, our culture into the things that you do, and which portrays when we watch it, we understand it. And I just have to say this: I don't think I've ever seen you not hit a note that you need to hit. I mean, your voice is an amazing voice. I mean, you sing some high notes that, wow, and you hit it out of the park. Like we say in America, you hit it out of the park. In other words, you do your thing. There is no limitation. We don't see you as having any limits to singing anything that's given to you. You know, you may not see it that way because you're like what we talked about, but that's what we see as an audience, of people that are new, that are introduced. So I think this interview is great, that people will know, wow, there's a Samoan kid over there. Auso, that's, you know, that's beasting himself, being an opera, you know, music, you know, profession. So, what do you hope to achieve in your next? I understand there's some more shows later on in San Francisco. How many more do you have going?
We've got 2 more left out of the 8 performances, and then I've got smaller ones in the fall season.
Right. Yeah. We're glad to have this time, but this is an initial interview. We're kind of unprepared for this, but you know, overall, we wanted to just come and meet you. You know, that's the number one thing, and then get to have you say some things to encourage our people to look into this new profession, this new adventure that we can all enjoy, because it's basically European. So you're going to bring it to the Pacific.
Yeah.
Correct. So how do you stay here now in San Francisco, or are you planning to go back and forth?
I'll be staying here for hopefully another year, just to, you know, just to make use of another year in San Francisco.
Right.
But and then from there on, it's just wherever the next job is really.
Okay. Yeah. This is it's really an experience for me to see a young person like you, young son of Samoa, you know, doing very well in an area that we are not exposed to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you mentioned how you got into opera. Did you say?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
No, I was doing classical singing back in
New Zealand.
New Zealand. I was in a choir, and then that's when the tutor said, "Oh, you know, don't do opera because you don't have a standard chance."
Okay, so that's.
And that was the biggest motivation for me. I was like, I need to prove this guy wrong somehow.
Exactly.
I need to prove him wrong.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So it's you know, it's an education for all of us, and an appreciation of new things.
Yeah.
Which this is certainly to see you and see how you do your stuff, how you strut your stuff here on the stage, and we're looking forward to coming and see you on Tuesday, and you know, witness greatness in real life.
Okay, now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ole talanoanga na ma sunga ya Pene whaftai ole awanoa o whantu ina mai e whatatano ai foi I lana ngā luenga ma tiutu whengai mai. Thank you, folks. That's a great interview with Pene, and hopefully, Lord willing, we'll see more talk and maybe get more about his profession, because I think we're not getting into the gist of most of this stuff because the interviewer is not experienced in his field. So we hope to kind of acclimate ourselves to know more about what he's about and what he's going to do and the whole area of opera. And look out Pacifica, Polynesian Pacific, because we're coming. We're coming for you, and we're taking no prisoners. Thank you.